These
This is WeatherScope.
Two areas of low pressure, one moving across the lower Great Lakes and the second off the mid-Atlantic coast, are bringing a mixed bag of precipitation, but most of what's in that bag tonight is snow. Good evening and welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Dave Schwartz. This may not be the end of it either. Another storm system may bring more wintry weather to the region by week's end. With more on this, we turn to Jeff Morrow in the Forecast Center.
Yeah, kind of a tricky forecast coming up as we head toward the end of the week, but with our storm now, I guess the key words are winding down. It does look like the storm is winding down. That doesn't mean that the snow is over with, but it looks like as from here on out, things will start to slowly diminish in intensity from west to east. Let's show you what it was doing a little bit earlier in the day. These scenes taken around Chatham, New Jersey, which is just to the west of the Newark area, and you didn't have to go very far west to get into the wet snow here. Not a lot of travel problems, if any at all, but again, there was a lot of accumulation on grassy areas, and where the snow's really coming down heavily in the Hudson Valley and right now in Connecticut, there actually could be some power outages as some of the snow brings down maybe some power lines. Haven't had really any reports of that quite yet, but it is not out of the realm of possibilities. All right, here's a look at our satellite radar composite. Actually, Dave was mentioning two areas of low pressure, one about here in central or western PA, and the other one moving off the Delmarva Peninsula, and it'll start tracking away toward the northeast. But notice the sharp northern cutoff of the precipitation. It just doesn't want to get up into the Adirondacks or Vermont or New Hampshire or even into the Boston area. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But this has been a fairly prolific snow producer in spots. Lansing, Michigan picking up 9 inches, and Orchard Park, which is very near Buffalo, about 8, Bowling Green 4, Rochester 3, and even Wilkesboro in Pennsylvania picking up about 2 inches of snow. Joining me now here in the Forecast Center is senior meteorologist Tom Moore. Tom, let's talk a little bit about why this snow hasn't made it to Boston.
Well, it's almost like there's a barrier in the atmosphere, but that barrier is basically high pressure, which is building into eastern Canada and nosing colder and drier air into northern New York and northern New England. The winds aloft coming out of the northwest also holding that precipitation at bay south of the Mohawk Valley in New York State and south of, say, Worcester in Massachusetts.
All right, let's go ahead and show the folks the setup here as far as the current weather map is concerned. And by the same token, you just mentioned no snow in Boston. In New York City, it has been, at least in the city itself, it's been rain, but it's been in between those two areas where the heavy snow has been, a thin band.
Right, a real thin band, because to the north, it's too cold and dry. to the south, with the winds off the water, it's a little too warm for snow. So the only place where you have enough moisture for snow and enough cold air for snow is in this narrow band coming out of Rhode Island, southern Connecticut around the Bridgeport area, into the Hudson Valley around Kingston, and really to the north of there the snow tapers off quickly, and to the south around New York City temperatures are above freezing. We've had mixed precipitation.
Now, it looks like out here toward Detroit, where you had a fair amount of snow, there's still some light snow there and around Buffalo. It really is starting to taper off a bit.
Yeah, we have a second area of low pressure that's formed off of the Delmarva Peninsula. It seems to be bringing a lot of moisture around it. I think it's just killing off what's left of the low to the west. But it was still a pretty good storm. Buffalo to Binghamton, about 5 to 7 inches of snow from this. Where earlier today we had a lot of lifting, very dynamic atmosphere, this warm, moist air, and brought a lot of snow to western New York.
All right, where is the heaviest snow right now?
Well, we've have some decent snow around Bridgeport, Connecticut, but boy, that snow's really going to be ending pretty soon from the west. So we really have to go over to Providence, Rhode Island, where the temperatures dropped to 32 degrees. That heavy wet snow, as you say, that may accumulate on power lines or those trees, so we'll have to watch that a little bit. And there could be a decent 4 or 5 inches of snow in the morning in that area, but we have a rain-snow line around New Bedford, Massachusetts, into Long Island Sound, and into northern New Jersey. But as you can see, the drier air is coming on in.
All right, so here's how much snow we expect. And again, Connecticut and parts of the Hudson Valley, that's about it. Let's quickly talk about the next storm, Tom. Now, this is for Thursday afternoon, a developing storm here in Florida. Question is, will it head up along the coast or maybe head more out to sea? Your thoughts?
Well, that's what we're debating right now about that. If it does go up the coast, though, it's not going to bring a tremendous nor'easter because this low is going to move too fast. But some of the newer information we have say that this low may tend to slant off the coast, which would mean much less snow for New England. Either way, it's not going to be a big event, but now we're trending toward a lighter amount, or maybe even less than that, in the northeast. And then we're going to go into a very, very calm weather pattern next week over much of the nation.
All right, well, within the next hour, we'll be getting some new information in, and we'll know more about the potential for this next storm, maybe in New England. Thanks, Tom Moore, for updating us on the wintry weather in the Northeast tonight. And if you want more information, you can always check us out at our website at weather.com. Right now, though, let's go back to Dave in the studio with a look at the rest of the nation's weather and your forecast.
Well, Jeff, the cold front associated with that storm in the Northeast caused severe weather in the deep south this morning. Parts of Florida saw showers and even tornadoes. Possibly 3 tornadoes.